Hi, everybody. Welcome to math. Today, we are going to be learning about multiplying fractions. And specifically today, we are going to multiply a fraction by a whole number. So let's get ready. Please open your books to page 266 in your book. Ready, go. Okay, so you should be on page 266 now. And one of the things that you need to know, let me turn on my drawing tool, is that what I always tell kids, so here we have an example of 5 times 3/4. I'm going to just write it bigger here. 5 times 3/4. So when you see, so this is a whole number, the 5, and 3/4 is a fraction. So what you do to turn that 5 into a fraction, all you do is stick a 1 under it, right? Any whole number is just that number over 1. So 5 is the same as 5 over 1. 20 is the same as 20 over 1. 10 million is the same as 10 million over 1. So now that I have 5 over 1, it's really easy. I just multiply straight across. 5 times 3 is 15. 1 times 4 is 4, and I have 15 over 4. And as you remember from what we did yesterday, we call this an improper fraction. And so now what we have to do is we have to divide to turn it into a mixed number. So 4 goes into 15 3 times. And I know that 4 times 3 is 12, right? And so, well, if I need to, I can just write 15 divided by 4. 4 goes into 15 3. 3 times 4 is 12. Subtract, and 3 left over, right? So back when you were little kids, you would write 3 remainder 3, but now you're big boys and girls. So now that remainder 3 goes up here, and whatever the denominator is stays the denominator. So your answer is 3 3/4. Oh, look, just like they have there. So that's basically what we're going to do. We'll show you some other ways to do it that you can use pictures on kind of an area model. Okay, so another way to do the same thing is using pictures, which they call an area model. And this is a good way to visualize it, even if you're not going to use this for every problem that you do. So it says, find, sorry, let me scroll this a little bit. It's find 2 times 2/5. 2 times 2/5. So what they have here is they made a model of 2/5, right? So they have this rectangle. It's broken into 5 pieces and they colored in 2. So that's 2/5 and another 2/5, right? So it's 2 times 2/5. So we take this one goes here, this one goes there, and then here, and then here. So now I have, how many fifths do I have? Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 fifths. And if I were to write this out the other way using the equation, it's the same thing. So if I have 2 times 2/5, well, remember this becomes, I'll write it this way, 2 times 2/5. Remember, you stick a 1 under the 2 and then you just multiply straight across. 2 times 2 is 4. 1 times 5 is 5, and you have 4/5. This is not an improper fraction, which means you don't have to reduce or divide or anything. So we're just done. So you get 4/5, which is the same way you got the answer you got here. This was 4/5 because each one of these was 1/5. Sorry, I can't really write very well. Great. Okay, so now at the bottom of page 266, let's try letter A. 6 times 2/3. Just remember, when you see a whole number, stick a 1 under it. Ready, go. All right, so what you should have done is put a 1 under that. 6 times 2 is 12. 1 times 3 is 3. This is improper, so you divide. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So that's our whole answer, just plain old 4. Great. Let's try the same thing on letter B. On your mark, get set, go. Okay, so for this one, it's 9 times 1/3. So again, whole number, stick a 1 under it. 9 times 1 is 9. 1 times 3 is 3. 9 divided, but it's improper, so you do 9 divided by 3, which is just plain old 3. So you should have a 3 there. Easy, right? And the 4 was for A. All right, so now you guys try letter C. On your mark, get set, go. All right, so again, I'm going to just rewrite it down here. 4 times 1 over 8. And 4 is really 4 over 1. 4 times 1 is 4. 1 times 8 is 8. So now this is not an improper fraction, but we can reduce, right? Because they're both even numbers. So let's divide both sides by the biggest number that fits into both, which is 4. So 4 divided by, oops, sorry, that should be 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 8 divided by 4 is 2. So 4 over 8 is the same as 1/2. And that, my friends, is the correct answer. If you got 4 over 8, don't feel bad, but it really is 1/2. Okay. Okay, so now let's go to page 267, next page in your book. And the only thing that's different here is just they put the whole number second. And really, it doesn't matter. So remember, when you multiply, it's the commutative property, which means 3 times 5 is the same as 5 times 3. It doesn't matter for the order, for multiplying. Dividing, it matters, but we're doing multiplying today, and it doesn't matter. So again, this is with the area model, or the picture way of doing it. And the problem is 3/5 times 4. So these are all fifths. So I'm going to color in 1, 2, 3/5 on each of these columns. 1, 2, 3, right? So each one of these is a fifth. And so now, oh boy, sorry. So now I can count how many fifths. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12 fifths colored in, 12 fifths. But that's an improper fraction. So what do? I divide. 5 goes into 12 2 times with 2 left over, so it's 2 and 2/5. Got it? And I could have done it the regular. So this is kind of the picture-y way. This is the number-y way, using an equation. So this is where you just say 4 over 1, 3 times 4 is 12, 5 times 1 is 5, and you get the same thing. 12 over 5 is 2 and 2/5. Awesome. Okay, let's try some examples here. And clear all this. And let's just go all the way to letter D. So 1/2 times 3. And let me just tell you that, because this will come up a lot in word problems. When you have 1/2 times 3, that's the same as saying 1/2 of 3. So whenever you have a word problem, especially with a fraction, when you say what is 1/2 of something, that means 1/2 times something. So of times, they're the same thing. So 1/2 of 3, ready, go. All right, so you should do 1/2 times 3 over 1. 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 1 is 2. 3 over 2, you divide, and that becomes 1 and 1/2. So for letter D, 1 and 1/2. Cool. All right, let's do letter E. Ready, go. All right, so 4 over 1, 2 times 4 is 8. 5 times 1 is 5. This is improper, so you need to divide. 5 goes into 8 one time with 3 leftovers. You should have 1 and 3/5, because remember the 5 always stays on the bottom. 1 and 3/5. Okay, let's try letter F. Ready, go. 3/4 times 5. So 5 over 1. 3 times 5 is 15. 4 times 1 is 4. 15 over 4. Well, let's see. 4 times 4 is 16, so it must be a 3. 3 times 4 is 12. And in my head, I'm saying, okay, the difference between 12 and 15 is 3. So I know the remainder will be 3 over 4, because 4 is on the bottom. 3 and 3/4. Easy peasy, paparizzi. Okay, so now we're on the guided practice on page 268. And let's just do the odd problems on this, right? Let's do 3 of these problems, the odd ones. So why don't you try number 1 on page 268. On your mark, get set, go. All right, so you should have known that's 10 over 1. 10 times 4 is 40. 1 times 5 is 5. And you divide. 40 divided by 5 is 8. So your answer is 8. Easy. All right, let's try number 3. Ready, go. Okay, so again, 1 goes under the 11. 3 times 11 is 33. Over 8 times 1 is 8. So now you have an improper fraction. So how many times does 8 go into 33? So if you need to rewrite it, it's okay. But I know that 8 goes into 33 4 times, because 4 times 8 is 32, and that's just 1 left over, which means to be a remainder of 1, which goes on the top, and the 8 stays on the bottom. 4 1/8. Excelente. All right, last one, number 5. Here's a nice word problem for you. A cat spends 2/3 of its life asleep. If a cat lives to be 15 years old, how many years did it spend asleep? So what do we need? What's the important information? 2/3 of its life asleep and 15 years old. So we have to find out how many years did it spend asleep. So to break this down, what it's basically asking us is if it spends 2/3 of its life and its life is 15, so now we know the life is 15. So now what it's asking is, what is 2/3? 2/3 of 15, right? So I'm going to just write it the way they have it in here. So 2/3 of 15. And remember what I told you before, of is the same thing as times. So that's the same as 2/3 times 15. Oh, did I give this to you already? I mean, go do this. All right. So your answer should be, you put 15 over 1, and you do 2 times 15 is 30. 3 times 1 is 3. Well, this is easy. 30 over 3 is 10. So that means that if a cat lives to be 15 years old, it spent 10 years asleep. Lazy cats. All right, great. Hopefully you get it. If you have any questions, please, you can send me an email or contact me or let me know. And good job. Goodbye.